Ruby, Lady Roxley, we were going through the photos of the Suburban as they were processed and the different possible latent prints that were numbered.
That's correct.
1 through 11.
Yes, sir.
And with your permission, I'm simply going to go through those and I'll announce what photograph I'm showing, but I wasn't going to ask any questions. I just simply want to display them very briefly to the jury so they'll be able to see those now, and of course they'll be later available to the jury to inspect more closely in the jury room. You can hit the light, please. 584. And just as this white item right there, sir, just as a point of reference as I go through, maybe other white.
Item enumerated number 1. It's located on the front passenger side door frame.
Okay. Judge, I can see that clear in the photo. It doesn't come out very well on the screen. 585. 586. 587. 588. 589. 590. 591. 592. 593. 594. 596. 597. 600. 601. 602. 603. 607. 609. 612. 616. 619. For the record, 619 has a placard number 10. Where was that? Do you recall?
I believe that's the window of the vehicle.
And there was something put on the other side of the window?
Right, for photographic purposes, it was black fingerprint powder that was used, and it's a clear surface. You're really not going to be able to get your camera focus, so we just placed a plain white sheet of paper behind it, just to give some contrast for the photograph.
621. Showing what, sir?
It's a adhesive sticker, number 11. It's a lady print located on a natural light beer can that was located in the center console of the vehicle.
All those prints that were processed and lifted for possible use later if necessary.
That's correct.
State's Exhibit 623 through 631. Let me show you this group of photos, sir. That group of photos that I've shown you, what are those depicting?
Photographs taken of various documents located within the race store.
Do you recall where they came from at all?
I believe that would be throughout the vehicle as well, with the majority of them coming from the center console of the vehicle.
State's Exhibit 623 is one of those documents, sir.
Yes, it is.
And the name on that document was what, sir?
Matthew Robert Hood.
We'll show you another set of a group of photos, 632 through 661, to see if you recognize what those appear to be photographs of. those photographs appear to be up, sir?
There are, excuse me, photographs of Officer Howard's uniform and contents that are on his person after he was medically treated.
And the
Mr. Ball, what number was that, sir?
632, 661. Did you retrieve those items from the hospital yourself?
I did not.
And was another agent or officer who did that?
I was saying so.
And these photographs appear to be taken after they were retrieved and before they were stored as evidence.
That's correct.
And do you recall whether you took the photos or someone else took them?
I believe I took them, but I'm not positive.
Page 632. It's just showing what, sir?
Key ring with keys, excuse me.
And the number on that key ring is what?
176.
And do you yourself know where those came from?
No, I do not.
Were those in the vehicle itself that you recall when
No, they
you
were.
processed the, either one of those patrol vehicles?
No, they were not.
And the patrol vehicle for Officer Howard was what number? Do you recall?
176.
Exhibit 633 is what, sir?
It's an overall photograph of pieces of Officer Howard's uniform and personal belongings.
And those items there on 633, can you tell what those items are? Use your laser pointer if you can do that.
Sir, his boots, a portion of his shirt, belt. I believe those are socks. That's a bag containing his watch. I can't tell if those are his pants or different shirt. I'm not sure. I can't tell the difference right now.
Show you other photos.
See it there.
This is it at 635. Shows what?
Officer Howard's belt. It's a biohazard bag containing a watch. And this is a microphone.
And up here, these items, what are those?
Be a belt keeper. And, that's a piece of located at the bottom of his shirt to keep his uniform in order.
Page 637. Showing what, sir?
It'll be his socks. It's going to be a portion of his uniform, shirt, belt, boots, belt keeper, microphone, bag containing a watch.
Looking at that portion of his shirt, there is some discoloration. Those items that appear to be discolored, what do those appear to you?
Those appears to be blood.
Let me show you 638, 639, and 640, and just take a look at those all together there, and then I'll ask you a question. The item that was on the left-hand side of that table in the earlier photograph there, that you weren't certain exactly what it was, 639, 638, 639, 640, does that appear to be close-up of that particular item?
It is.
What does it appear to be?
It's the blue T-shirt that Officer Howard was wearing under his uniform shirt. You recall going back to the crime scene photos, there was that swatch of blue T-shirt that was located on the ground adjacent to the vehicle. That's going to be a portion of the blue T-shirt that he had on at the time.
And so this is the rest of that T-shirt from that swatch on the ground at the scene.
That's correct, yes.
Stacy did it 639 was that, sir.
Yes.
$641 shows what, sir?
It's a closer photograph of Officer Howard's uniform shirt.
And the discoloration on that shirt, for the record, is what?
Believed to be blood from Officer Howard.
The 644 is displaying what, sir?
It's the cut off front of Officer Howard's bloody uniform shirt. You can see his name here.
On the right front of the left
Left shoulder area of his shirt.
648.
In medium range photograph, it's going to be the hole in the back left shoulder of the shirt with the scale located adjacent to the hole.
649.
It's a close photograph of the hole in the shirt with the scale.
650.
Closer
What?
photograph of the front of Officer Howard's bloody uniform shirt. You can get his name and Athens Clark County Police Department badge.
The record 651 appear to be what items?
There's going to be belongings I've seen there from his uniform, the pockets.
$654 is showing what, sir?
It's going to be Officer Howard's uniform pants with suspected blood in the front.
655.
It's another photograph of Officer Howard's pants, just going further down. That'll be like the thigh area, both legs, front.
656.
Front of Officer Howard's bloody issue pants going down towards the knees, towards the ankles.
658, sir.
Overall photograph of the front of Officer Howard's pants.
660 is showing what, sir?
The photograph of suspenders and belt keepers of Officer Howard.
I'll show you this group of photos 662 through 667. Jury, what are that group of photos displaying, sir?
These are the contents from Officer Christian's duty belt that I removed
is that, and would you explain the items there in that photograph, sir?
This is a shoot firearm with a magazine, a bullet that's located in the chamber. This is a light that is actually attached to the firearm right here at the bottom. An Aspeton, 2 magazines, pepper spray, a recorder, and a radio with a shoulder mic.
.663 is a close-up of some of those items,
That's correct.
and this item on the far right is what?
Aspeton,
And what is that, sir?
it is a steel baton that it expands.
And as far as these items next to it, what are those 2 items for the record?
They're spare magazines for his firearm.
And were there cartridges located inside of them?
Yes, 15 in each.
Is that what they hold?
That's correct.
And this item here, have that in the center of the picture, what is that?
It's pepper mace, excuse me.
Pepper spray?
Yes,
And this item right here,
a digital, Nimbus digital recorder.
and right here, what is that, sir?
It's a Motorola radio, the shoulder.
Where was that particular item located on the duty belt, sir? Do you know?
I believe it's going to be on the left side area of the towards the back.
And this portion here would have been on the left side,
I believe that's correct.
and this right here would have been what, sir?
That's the shoulder mic. I believe it's up on his left shoulder.
Case Exhibit 664 is what, sir?
Close-up of Officer Christian's firearm, the magazine that was inside of it, the round that was in the chamber, and the light that was attached to it.
This being the light here.
Yes, sir.
And at the time you recovered that weapon, it was located where?
And Officer Christian's holster, secured in his holster.
And prior to taking this photo, you removed the different items for display.
Yes, I did.
Case Exhibit 665 shows what, sir?
It's a close-up photograph of the serial number of Officer Christian's firearm.
And where is the serial number in that photograph, sir?
It's right here.
And can you read that out?
CZG 456.
.667 showing what, sir?
It's a photograph of the loaded magazine that's located within the firearm, as well as the bullet located in the chamber.
Case Exhibit 298 that was previously admitted. Did you see any of the equipment that you see that we just basically saw in photographs just a minute ago?
Yes, sir. Here's the shoulder mic on Officer Christian's left shoulder, and there's the Motorola radio
that particular photo, are you able to see the side of the front passenger seat where the defect was from which you retrieved the bullet projectile?
It's going to be in this area right here. I believe it's going to be a little bit to the right of that. But that's the side of the front passenger seat back.
In this photo, you're able to see the defect at all?
I cannot. But that's where it was located, in that area.
State's Exhibit 305. That's the radio mic there on his left shoulder.
That's correct.
State's Exhibit 312, sir. You see in that photo where any other equipment was located?
Going to be the holstered secured weapon here on the right side of Officer Christian's duty belt.
And how about this item in front of that? Can you tell that from this photo?
I believe that's going to be the pepper spray.
State's Exhibit 314.
It's a close-up photograph of Officer Christian's secured holstered firearm on the right side of his duty belt.
That was the position it was in when you arrived at the scene and processed it and recovered those items?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you recover those items before or after his body was removed from the vehicle?
We removed his body from the vehicle, and then I took those items from his duty belt at that time.
And did you remove his duty belt at that time also, or did it stay on him, if you remember?
I believe we left the duty belt on, we just took the contents off.
Lights up, please. Sir, you've indicated there were a number of different items that you seized as evidence there at the scene, and a few items there at the processing of the cars the next day. What did you do with those items, sir?
I collected them, I labeled them as evidence, I secured them in different containers, and documented the containers, whether it be a bag or box, what have you.
And then what did you do with them?
Secured them in the evidence room.
Now, let me show you. I'm sorry. Debbie, just very brief. What's been previously entered as State's Exhibit number 163. You recognize that photo, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is that a photograph of?
It's a photograph of Sycamore Avenue heading back towards the west. This is a pack of cigarettes, and there's I believe it's right there, a cigarette butt as well. Shortly after getting to the scene, Jim Fullington, the agent in charge, asked if there's any way we could open up. So this would be the north side of the road, that lane through
Was that before or after you photographed pretty much the scene and at some point? When did you do that? When did you start collecting the items?
I was not finished photographing the scene in its entirety before they were collected. I remember consulting with Detective Radford, who advised that yes, he noted those items and he previously photographed them. So that's when I went ahead and collected them.
You went ahead and collected them so they could open up that lane of traffic?
That's correct.
And then you went about the processing of the scene?
That's correct.
Let me show you what's been marked as Exhibit 668.
License to every person.
Thank you, sir.
Someone needs to see that on board. Yeah. Thank you.
That particular item, you look at that and see if you recognize what that is. If need be, go ahead and open up the contents of it.
Sure. And the item number 1 is going to be the empty pack of Newport cigarettes. Oh, I'm sorry.
And don't display those yet. After looking inside that, is that what that is?
Yes, it is.
And that's one of the bags inside 668?
Sir?
Was that one of the bags inside?
Yes, sir.
Let
That's
me
correct.
go back. 668, basically, can you describe the outer container is a plastic bag of some sort, Ziploc bag?
Clear plastic Ziploc bag containing GI receipt for property, as well as 2 brown paper bags that are labeled.
And who filled out that property receipt for property?
I did.
Is that in your handwriting?
Yes, it is.
And going inside that Ziploc bag, one of the, said 2 brown bags. Opening up one is identified as the cigarette pack. What is that item, sir? What is that item again?
This is an empty pack of Newport cigarettes.
Is that the one that was shown in the previous photograph, sir?
Yes.
And the other brown bag, would you take a look at that, please?
Yes, sir.
And the contents thereof.
If you look at that bag, the brown bag, did I look in there? Or could I? It was handed to you. Okay, but I just wait if I have to. If you're asking to look at it, I'll just, yeah, I don't know what this is.
He hasn't finished.
I'm standing over it.
Look inside that and see if you recognize that, what that appears to be, sir.
Yes, sir.
What does that appear to be?
It is a brown and white Fortuna cigarette butt.
And those items there, does that cigarette butt appear to be the cigarette butt you collected on that day from the area you described in the previous photograph?
Yes, it is.
And at this time, I would tender State's Exhibit 668 in there.
Mr. Otis, he'll gather
Uh,
that
It's okay,
up.
he said cigarette, but I don't know why, but I have no objection.
Submitted. It's 668.
Sir, let me show you this item investigation received property that are labeled as State Exhibit 670. Look at those items.
Oh, could she?
She can't open it up.
Okay, I just wait till they get there.
Ms. Davis, would you take that other item back, please? 669, the brown bag, would you take a look at that, see if you recognize that, and describe what that is?
This is a brown evidence bag from Athens Clark County Police Department.
And was it filled out?
It was filled out.
And did you tell who filled that out?
Jeff Harold filled out this evidence bag.
And would you take a look at the contents of that bag, please? Oh, I'm sorry, before you do that, 670 is what, sir?
It's going to be the 4 spent 40 caliber shell casings located at the crime scene.
And is that the property receipt 670 that goes with 669?
Yes,
And was that your property receipt that you filled out there after seizing those items?
yes.
And if you will, take a look at the contents of 669, and see if you recognize what those items are, sir.
Once you open it, I'm gonna give Mr. Wood an opportunity before you,
I'm listening.
all right, you continue.
Yes.
What is the contents of that, just generally, what does it, those items look like, and then you can look inside the other items?
Inside, that bag is the bag that I placed the 4 separate spent casings in.
And so there's another bag inside of that that you placed it in?
That's correct.
And would you look inside that bag, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And what do you recognize there, sir?
These are the small white boxes containing the spent casings that I collected at the crime scene.
Were they individually packaged in one in each box?
That's correct, just to keep them separated.
Was each box labeled as some sort of item number?
That's correct.
And did you indicate the item number on the property receipt that's attached to 670?
That's correct, yes, I did.
Item number 1 was what, sir?
This is the 40 caliber spent casing. They're all head stamped, lowercase n, N, Y, 40, capital S, and sign, capital W. They're all head stamped the same. Item number 1 is a spent casing located on the ground next to Officer Howard's vehicle near the rear driver's side tire. Item number 2 is a spent casing located on the front driver's side seat of Officer Howard's vehicle.
And let me stop you there. Did that, those item numbers 1 and 2 correspond to the placards that you placed by the items in the photographs that we saw earlier when you were processing the scene and before you collected the items?
Yes, that's correct.
Items 3 and 4 are what?
They are the spent casings located on the street to the north of Officer Christian's vehicle.
And item 3 is indicated in what way? What does it say?
Spent casing located on the ground to the north of ACC PD unit number 265.
And item 4?
The same spent casing head stamped NN1 located on the ground to the north of ACC PD unit 265.
And items 3 and 4, did you document those in the same way on the property receipt as you collected them and placed them into evidence?
That's correct, and that corresponds
looked at earlier in the photos taken outside of Officer Christian's car.
That's correct.
And that you at all times keep cuts of those items before you package them in the way you did and place them into evidence, sir.
That's correct.
Your Honor, I would at this time intend to state exhibit 669 and 670 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Very limited.
Would you display, if you can, items 1 and 2, sir, to the jury, with Your Honor's permission?
Right. You can step.
And may you step down and go ahead and pull 3 and 4, I guess, take those while you're at it. Put those down there, I guess, as you're going through each one of them.
So, this is item number 1.
All right, just one
You
second.
can't explain anything, you just display.
Okay.
He'll ask you to, display number 1 perhaps.
That's what I'll do, Judge, thank you. Item number 1 is a box that you have there. Would you display that to the jury, please? Item number 2. Item number 3. And item number 4. Take it back to the stand. Were those the boxes that you labeled and appropriately marked with item numbers and placed those shell casings in one by one after you collected those, sir?
Yes,
And sealed them with evidence tape for further processing perhaps by the crime lab?
that's correct.
And in rattling those boxes, it appeared to contain the items that you placed in there?
Yes, it does.
Before we move on, it's not clear to me, what is 669 and which is 670?
669 is been identified as the brown paper bag that contained another bag that contained those 4 items, Judge, that were in the boxes. 670 was a property receipt. I did that because it was loose, it was not attached to a statement or otherwise to that bag at that time. I labeled it separately for that reason.
Thank you.
Show you these 2 items, sir. And 3 items. So I've labeled as 671, 672, and 673.
What is that?
No, sir. Amen.
You never have to get in there.
Let me show it to the witness first, Judge.
I don't want that.
I understand. You'll show that to the witness.
What is it, is other one?
671, 672, and 673. $671 that I've labeled as that plastic bag and the contents, what is that, sir?
Yes, sir.
What is 671?
671 is going to be GBI receipt for property E-516675. shoulder mic. Item number 2 is going to be Linda's digital recorder. 3 is the Aspeton for 2 Glock magazines located with 15 cartridges. Item number 5 is going to be a 3-ounce can of MK4 pepper mace. Item number 6 is going to be in the box. It's the Glock Model 22 40 caliber handgun bearing serial number CZG 456, as well as the light that we saw, the magazine that was located within the gun, as well as the cartridge that was in the chamber.
672, as you look at that brown bag that's been labeled as 672, and you can unclip, I guess, that plastic bag if you can, sir, from there. You recognize that particular bag, sir,
Yes, sir, I do.
and what it appears to contain?
Yes, I do.
And what does that appear to contain, sir?
This bag appears to contain items 1 through 5 from listed on the evidence receipt, which is the radio, the recorder, the Aspeton, the 2 magazines, and a 3-ounce can of pepper mace.
And would you look at the contents of that bag and verify its contents, please?
Yes, sir.
And showing you State's Exhibit 662, as far as the items in the upper part of that photograph that you previously identified as the radio and the mic, pepper spray, digital recorder, magazines, and baton. Are those all the items that are located in that particular bag labeled as 672?
That's correct.
Okay. And if you will, look at the contents of, look at let me back up a second. On 672, that particular bag, does it appear to have markings or labels or otherwise that have been placed on that after you had placed the items in that bag there?
Yes. At one point, the GBI went from using paper evidence receipts to a digital scanning called digital evidence. And so we started using barcodes with scanners to document our evidence, as well as adhesive labels to put on the bag that also have the barcodes on them.
Yes, sir. And 673, if you would look at that particular item, sir, and that box there, describe if you recognize that and what it what is marked as containing.
Sure, it is marked as containing item number 6 from the previously mentioned evidence receipt. This is going to be the Glock 22 40 caliber handgun bearing serial number CZG 456, as well as the Streamline, the magazine containing the 15 cartridges, and then the 1 cartridge that was located in the chamber.
And those markings on that box, were those yours as well?
Yes.
Are there additional markings that have been placed on that after you retrieved that item and placed it in evidence?
Yes, the GBI digital evidence markings.
And would you look inside that box? Is it a way for you to go inside that, or do you need something to open it up with?
Gonna need something to open up with.
see a serial number on that weapon, sir?
Yes, I do.
What is that serial number?
CZG456.
Is that the serial number of the weapon that you recovered from Officer Christian's duty belt as he sat in the inside his vehicle?
Yes, it is.
And I would tender to evidence states that it's 671, 672, and 673.
Any objection?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Go ahead and move.
You place those with Davis back there next to the deputy. Show you what's been marked as 674, plastic bag containing what appears to be a property seat and another brown bag.
Speak, Mr. Evans.
You recognize that item, sir, 674 and its content?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what is that?
It's going to be the GBI receipt for property 516674, indicating that one Verizon LG cellular telephone with the serial number. This is going to be the cellular telephone taken from the red Chevrolet Suburban at the scene in Sycamore.
Look inside the contents of that plastic bag and the brown bag that's contained therein.
Yes, sir.
You recognize that item, sir?
I do.
Is that the cellular telephone as indicated that was retrieved from the Suburban?
Yes.
I would tender 674 and its contents into evidence of this content.
Any objection? No, sir, Your Honor. Submitted.
What can I do to get a visual on it?
You can see it.
Can you just hold it up? He can hold it up.
He hasn't asked to do that. If you would hand it to Ms. Davis. so I know what you put.
Let me show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 675, sir, which is the property receipt in the brown bag.
brown paper bag containing the black and color stopping camp located between the front passenger seat and center console of the red Chevrolet Suburban.
Was that the item that you retrieved the next day after you went to the scene when you processed that Suburban?
That's correct.
And did you have any idea whether it had evidentiary value or not?
I had no idea.
And would you look inside the contents, see if it appears to be what it's labeled as being?
It is. There's also an additional item from the crime lab in there.
And I would tender that particular item into evidence at this time, 675.
I'd just like to see it, the actual item, whatever it is.
So, take it back. Any objection to 675?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Submitted.
Let me show you State Exhibit 676. Appears to be a property receipt as well as a brown bag.
I'm sorry, sir, what was that last exhibit?
675.
Okay.
Can you identify that and describe the property receipt and the brown bag for the jury first also?
GBI property receipt number 516679. It's contained the bullet from the passenger side B pillar behind the plastic molding from the Ford Crown Victoria, Officer Howard's vehicle.
And that brown paper bag appears to be labeled in what way and described in what?
Labeled the same way with the case number, the evidence receipt number, the item number, containing a bullet from the passenger side B pillar behind the plastic molding, ACC PD unit 176 Ford Crown Victoria. It's got the evidence tape on it, my initials, as well as the date and the time.
And does that item have other labels or otherwise that may have been placed on it after you had placed it into evidence?
Yes, it does.
From the crime lab itself, some of the barcodes or otherwise?
Yes, there are barcodes and blue evidence tape that says DOFS firearms.
And look inside the contents of that and see if you recognize that.
Yes, sir, I do.
And what does that appear to be?
A small brown evidence box I collected contained the bullet from the passenger side B pillar, Officer Howard's vehicle.
And after collecting it, was that the box that you placed it in, sir?
Yes, it was.
And after doing that, did you label it and seal it?
Yes, I did.
And did you place it inside the brown bag that you described as well?
That's correct.
And seal that and initial it and place it into evidence along with the property receipt?
That's correct.
And Your Honor, I would tender into evidence item number 676 in its content.
Any objection?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Submitted.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 677. 667, the plastic bag with the property receipt?
Yes, it is.
And what is that property receipt relate to, sir?
It relates to a metal ticket book holder located in front passenger seat, Officer Howard's vehicle.
And then 678, that brown bag that goes with it, what is that, sir?
It's a brown bag containing the metal ticket book.
And would you look inside that brown bag and see if you recognize its contents, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is that?
It's the metal ticket book with the defect on the side.
I would tender State's Exhibit 677, 678 into evidence at this time, Judge.
Objection.
No, sir, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Let me show you 679, sir. Okay, your property receipt in a brown bag. You recognize and can you identify that property receipt in the brown bag that's contained in 679?
Yes, sir.
And what is that, sir?
It's GBI receipt for property -516677, documenting the bullet located within the front passenger seat back of the vehicle on the Chevrolet Impala, Officer Christian's vehicle.
And would you look inside the brown bag that's part of 679, sir?
Yes, sir.
And what does that appear to be?
This is the small brown evidence box containing the bullet located from the front passenger seat back of the Chevrolet Impala.
That's the bullet projectile that came from what portion of the front passenger seat of the Chevrolet Impala, Officer Christian's vehicle?
Yes, it's going to be the side of the passenger side, front passenger side seat back.
On the left-hand side facing the driver?
That's correct.
And I would tender that particular item, 679, into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No, sir, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
Let me show you State's Exhibit 680, sir. What does that appear to be, sir?
GBI receipt for property -516676. It's a clear plastic, sealed plastic bag containing 7 white latent lift cards that were obtained from processing the exterior of Officer Christian Chevrolet Impala affiliated prints.
And open the contents and see if you are able to recognize the items that appears to contain.
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is that, sir?
There are the 7 latent lift cards that latent prints were obtained from Officer Christian's vehicle.
And y'all obtained those just in case they were needed at some other point, is that correct?
That's correct.
We tender 680 into evidence, Judge.
Any objection?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Admitted.
show you what I've marked at 681 and 682. 681 being a plastic bag containing some evidence, property receipts, and 682 being a large brown bag. That first item, 681, that plastic bag with the property receipt,
Yes, it
has
is.
a number of different stickers on it. What does that appear to contain, sir? Or what is labeled as it contain?
It's GBI receipt for property -516680. 6 items. These are going to be the contents located at the crime scene from Officer Howard's on the ground next to him. So item number 1 would be Officer Howard's duty belt containing 2 magazines, 1 canister of pepper mace, 1 Motorola radio, 1 flashlight, 2 sets of handcuffs, 1 aspeton, 1 holster, 1 mic pack, 1 digital recorder. Item number 2 is going to be 3 belt keepers. Item number 3 is going to be the shoulder mic. Item number 4 is going to be the swatch of the blue t-shirt. Item number 5 is going to be the front panel of the ballistic vest. Item number 6 is going to be the back panel of the ballistic vest containing the defect top edge.
And would you look inside State Exhibit 682, the brown bag that goes with that, you can recognize those items, sir.
What, is it just this small?
681, 682.
Yes, sir.
And what are those items that were contained in the bag 682, sir?
Everything I just described, the duty belt, its contents, the belt keepers, the shoulder mic, the swatch of the t-shirt, and both panels of this ballistic vest.
And I would tender 681 and 682 into evidence at this time.
No, sir, you don't.
Now, I'd ask that Mr. Ross would be able to step down and display first of all, the ticket book. It's right there in front. There you go. You bring that to me now.
Thank you.
It's contained in State's Exhibit number 678. And have him look at it and describe it first of all. understand, I asked you about that ticket book to begin with, sir. If you would pull it out, yes, sir. And on that ticket book, is that the ticket book that was in Officer Howard's vehicle on the passenger side that had the defect in it that you used as a point of reference for the trajectory rod?
Yes.
And can you hold up that ticket book, first of all, from where you're seated, and then I'll ask you to, the honor permission to come down, but can you show basically the defect that you're talking about, first of all?
Here is the defect on the ticket.
And he stepped down and more closely display that, Judge,
Right.
to one part of the jury and then to the other, please. Now, sir, in another item, 682, we contain parts of Officer Howard's vest. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And can you pull out portions of the vest, and particularly portions that would display the defects that you indicated earlier?
Yes, sir. Stand.
And hold that up, first of all. Hold it up, please, sir. That particular vest is a part of that. What is that, sir? Can you describe what that is?
This is the back panel of Officer Howard's ballistic vest. This is out of the carrier. This photograph in and out of the carrier, and there's the defect in the top. So this would be against Officer Howard's back. This is behind him.
And sir, that is light blue color.
That's correct.
Was that basically what it was, or has that been taken out of another portion of the vest there?
Yeah, there's a darker blue carrier, which this fits into.
Which, Your Honor, may he step down and display that, particularly point to the defect on the portion of the vest that basically would be over and near the left shoulder, back left shoulder of Officer Howard.
You may have the outer part, can we show them the outer part as well as the inner part?
Well, that would be something you would take up on
Oh,
cross-examination, if it was used to do that.
Okay.
Down and show this part of the jury also. Okay. Go ahead and pull, if you have, the outer part of that vest and covering for that, please. For the record, is that just a piece of cloth, I guess, that covers that, that vest there?
Yes, sir, it contains this, the vest goes inside this piece.
And would you hold it up, please, sir? And can you tell basically there what is the back portion of that? What is the back side of that?
Sure, so this jersey kind of material here, this would be against Officer Howard's back, and then this would be the outside, against, well, like against his shirt, if you will.
As
This
you-
is his left shoulder, and there's the defects. The
And would
holes.
you, with the honor's permission, may he step down and would you point two, if you do that, the defect on the back left shoulder portion of that outer covering of the vest. Thank you, sir. Now, at this time, that's all I have of Agent.
This would be a logical time to break for lunch, so I'll ask you to return to the jury room, we'll get transportation here. We'll break for lunch, and I'm sorry, back up, let me give you a little more information, because this may be helpful while you're at lunch. A couple of people have asked about getting their checks home. I think there's probably envelopes at the Holiday Inn. If you will fill those out, and we can put the addresses where you want them to go, and we'll get those sent out. You will get a check to have in hand either late tomorrow, probably late at the end of the day tomorrow. So you'll have that also. If you want that to go, it may be before, but anyway, we'll mail that out for you if you want to, or you'll have it to hand over if you choose to do that, or we'll make arrangements to do that. I do have, Ms. Davis, if you'll hand this is in response to one question, you're standing up. And then